Hello Year 1, it's Miss Morgan here. I hope that everyone's really well at home. Today in English we are going to be wrapping up all of the work that we did today by writing a diary entry about what Tom has seen on his rescue mission. So for today's lesson you will need to write your LI, to write a diary entry, and your long date, Friday the 19th of June 2020. Pause the video to complete this. You will need your workbook, your pencil, a purple pen or pencil for corrections, your story map to remember what's going on in the story, adjectives from the word mats that we have used this week and that you have made yourself to make your writing more interesting, and the different worksheets from the Grange website. So before we start writing our diaries, let's read the story. There once was a boy called Tom who lived with his grandfather in a lighthouse at the edge of the sea. Between them, Tom and his grandfather took care of the lighthouse. On stormy days and moonless nights they would light the lamp to show passing ships where the rocks were. On sunny days they would go fishing together, and Tom's grandfather would tell him wonderful stories of faraway lands and sea monsters. Tom loved his grandfather and the lighthouse very much, but sometimes he longed to sail the wide grey seas in search of adventure. One day Tom saw something glinting among the wet pebbles on the seashore. It was an old bottle chipped and covered with seaweed, with a message inside. Help! I'm shipwrecked on a faraway island. There are dinosaurs here and a smoking volcano. Please come before it's too late. Help! Thank you, from Katie. Tom rushed home with the message. Oh, poor girl, said his grandfather. She is in terrible trouble. He looked worried. But what can we do? We can't leave the lighthouse. If a storm blows up, we'll have to light the lamp. Don't worry, grandfather, said Tom. I'll rescue her. Tom raced down the stairs to fetch the special emergency box. He pushed and pulled and heaved it up the narrow steps to the balcony. He pulled the ripcord. With a rush of wind, the sides of the box collapsed, and an enormous rescue balloon filled with air. Tom jumped into the basket. His grandfather gave him a snack for the journey and wished him luck. Be careful, he said, as he let the tether go. Tom's balloon soared into the sky. As night fell, he drifted across cold seas and sleeping towns. He flew past snow-covered mountains, across wild, dark green forests, through rainstorms and over waterfalls. At times the balloon dipped down to touch the waves. Later it drifted across a great city at dawn, and then, as the sun rose, flew on far, far away. Now that we've read the story, please can you talk to your adult about what a diary is and what do we write in a diary? Pause the video to talk to your adult. A diary is a place to write about what someone has done. So you could write about activities, or some people write their secrets in their diaries. So when we write a diary, it needs to sound like the person or the character has written it. So for example, if I'm writing my diary, I will say, I had a great day, not Miss Morgan had a great day. So remember, it's in first person. Here is an example of a diary that Timmy has written. Friday the 19th of June 2020. Dear Diary, you are not going to believe the day I have had. First thing this morning my mum told me I had to take some fish to Grandma Turtle. I secretly wanted to play with my starfish friends, but I felt bad for poor Grandma Turtle, so I grumpily agreed. It was such a beautiful day as I swam through the sea. I had to stop to look at the lovely coral. Then suddenly a shark appeared from behind a huge rock. He was very charming and told me to take a shortcut to Grandma Turtle. I thought he was very clever, so I trusted him. That was a silly idea. Finally, I got to Grandma Turtle and I knew that something strange was going on. Grandma Turtle looked different. Next I asked her lots of questions and I worked out that it was not her, just in time. After that, a kind dolphin came and saved me from the shark and helped rescue Grandma Turtle. I am very tired now and I will never trust a shark again. I will write again soon. Timmy the Turtle. So when we are writing a diary, we have our checklist. Did I include the date or time that the diary was written? Write in past tense, so our ed verbs. Use the words I, my, we. Write as if you were there, so you're going to have lots of details because you were there and you know what happened. Write about the most important events in the order that they happened. So remember, that's called chronological order. You write in the order that things happened. You describe your feelings. How did you feel when you were completing these activities and taking part in these events? Use time linking words, your time connectives, like next, first, then, after that. Talk about where events happened. So there's lots of things that we need to include in our diaries to make them really good. So here I have shown my date. It's important to show the date so that the reader knows when the diary is being written. Friday the 19th of June 2020, there is Timmy's date. So we can tick that off. Timmy has written the date. Write in past tense. When we write a diary, we write in the past tense. This is because everything that we are writing about has already happened, so we need to remember our ED words. It can help to say the sentence out loud to see if it makes sense before you write it. So told is past tense because it's already happened. Someone's told you something, they are not telling you right now. Wanted, we've got our ED verb. Agreed, our ED word. Swam, because you're not swimming right now. Timmy swam through the sea. Appeared, another ED word. Thought, so you're not thinking right now, you thought it before. And trusted, another ED word. Next, we are going to look out for I, my, we and our, so first person. These words are special because they tell us that the diary is written by someone and they are talking about themselves. So this kind of writing is called first person. So here we have lots of I when Timmy is talking about himself and my. Now we are going to look at writing as if you were there. To have lots of details and looking for our time connectives. So time connectives are in blue. First, then, finally, after that, and then the detail. It was such a beautiful day. As I swam through the sea, I had to stop to look at the lovely coral. So there's lots of details in there. The shark came from a huge rock. He was charming and spoke about a shortcut. Grandma looked different and Timmy was asking lots of questions. So we've got lots of detail to really prove that Timmy was there. Next, we are going to look at feelings, where Timmy describes his feelings. He felt bad for poor Grandma because she wasn't feeling very well. He was grumpy when he agreed. He trusted the shark, and then at the end of the day he was very tired. So this is showing that how Timmy was feeling during the day. And finally, we are going to look at where the events happened. So Timmy's events happened in the sea, he went past some lovely coral, and the shark was behind a huge rock. So maybe when we are writing about Tom's diary, we can talk about the lighthouse, or we could talk about the island, or the city, or the forest, or in the balloon. So there we have seen all of the features of a diary. So today we are going to write a diary about Tom's day rescuing Katie. Remember to include your writing about the rescue plan, forest description, city description, and all the features of a diary. Because in the day that we are writing about, Tom went to rescue Katie, he went over the forest, and he also flew over the city. So here is an example of a diary entry by Tom. Friday the 19th of June 2020. Dear Diary, I have had such an exciting day. First thing this morning I found a mysterious message in a bottle from a girl called Katie. I felt so shocked and worried. Then I rushed to show Grandfather. I wanted to help her, so I created my brave rescue plan. I got my gigantic red hot air balloon and my equipment. Then I flew off into the sky to the faraway island with dinosaurs and a smoking volcano. Next, I flew over beautiful shady forests. I saw dark green prickly plants and colossal trees with rough bark and bright leaves. After that, I flew past bustling, noisy towns with tall, modern buildings. It was a fantastic journey, but I felt nervous because I was very high in the sky and a little bit scared of the dinosaurs and volcano. I hope Katie is okay. I will be there soon. I will write again tomorrow. Tom. So in this diary entry, Tom's telling us how he found out that Katie was stuck on the island, what he saw when he flew over the forest, what he saw when he flew over the city, and how he felt on his journey. If you are in Mrs. Coker and Miss Thurlow's phonics group, this is your diary writing template, and at the bottom you have your checklist. You can get this from the Grange website. If you are in my phonics group or Miss Zadie's phonics group, this is your diary writing template, and it also has a checklist at the bottom. This is on the Grange website for you. Remember to include all of the features of the checklist, and as you complete them you can tick them off, or you can wait to the end, and then if you have forgotten something you can add it in. And if you are in Mrs. Meta's phonics group, this is your template for your diary entry and your checklist. This is all available on the Grange website. And time for our Friday shout-outs. Well done to Christina, who's doing some amazing work at school. Well done to George for working really hard on his handwriting and using brilliant adjectives. Well done to Melinda for some amazing work in her first week back at school. Well done to Justina as well for some brilliant work, and also well done for using your purple pen for corrections. Well done to Harley for some lovely writing and a brilliant drawing. Well done to Sophia for retelling the beginning of the story using her story map. And well done to Tiana for some amazing writing as well. Remember to send your work to the Year 1 email address. We are still waiting for a few end of year report comments, so if you haven't sent those to your teacher, please can you send them today. And I hope everybody has a lovely weekend.